Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. Ladies and my gays listening to this. It is Vanderpump Rules season opener tonight. I am so fucking excited. I wait for this moment because I love VPR. I'm so happy to have my ladies here today, and we are going to talk about our thoughts, opinions, and concerns about this episode. Now, asterisks to this, we are filming this before the episode goes live. The season 11 starts at 9 p.m. tonight, but I wanted to get together my ladies so we could talk about Vanderpump Rules. We need our pumptinis, we need our goat cheese balls, and we need to dive in because I think season 11, wait for this, is actually going to be boring as hell. And I cannot wait to tell you ladies why I feel this way.
Stay tuned.
I'm so glad I'm not by myself.
Right?
That's not how we advertise this, Stassi. It's going to be the best season of all time.
So she's as my manager and publicist Disney Sims. I didn't clear that with her first. But I wanted to see your ladies' faces reaction. But before we dive in, let's dive in. Baby girl, welcome back. Almost for the 40th time. Talk to me. Tell me a little about yourself.
Let me in. Hello, I'm Court, aka the Disney Sims, aka Townie Tales, aka Stassi J podcast affiliate at this point. And I love all things Sims, reality TV, movies, you name it. OG Simmer. It's how me and Stassi originally bonded and fell in love, and now we bonded over everything, and now I'm always on the show whenever I can be, and I appreciate it because I like talking.
Oh my god, I love you. I think it's actually we've just passed 2 years, since our first interview. 2 years. We are in love.
Heard how we brought each other away.
Right. And I'm excited. I might be heading your way this year, so we will definitely have maybe an in-person meeting if my plans finally
100%
come true.
Exactly.
Wow. Melby, welcome back, baby girl. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I've also been watching a lot of Drag Race content, so Alaska is with me in my mind. Hi, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for having me back. First of all, just like a great group of gals to chat about. I love all things Bravo. My name is sulsulmelb, and I kind of make The Sims look like the Real Housewives franchise. Just dropped my latest franchise, Real Housewives of Sul City, where I have taken some of the some popular, some not so popular, but definitely glamming them up and giving them drama. So I'm so excited to be here in the Bravoverse of the VPR Bravoverse, and I completely agree. I thought this season will be interesting, but interesting in the ways that I think we weren't expecting. And I think the things that I was hoping for probably aren't going to happen. So I'm really interested and curious to see where this is going.
I could not agree more. Sims Kingdom, welcome back, my hi.
Hello, I missed you all so much. I've been saying it. I took a small break to visit my family, but I'm back. Hello. So I'm Theoni, aka Sims Kingdoms. I love storytelling. I love the chaos of the Sims. I always let my Sims do their things and then make sense of it. So that's why I also like reality TV, because they're not characters. Because I'm an actress, I understand scripts. I understand that in reality TVs, they give them a lot of alcohol and things, and like some things are pushed. But then I'm like, I don't know. Before we start, I want to say I usually wait for many episodes to come out so I can binge watch them. So I didn't watch season 11 until after Scandal episode aired. So I was like, what? And then I had to watch all their happiness before. And anyway, it was interesting. Interesting.
Definitely.
Interesting.
It's definitely very interesting. So I was a lifetime VPR fan. I just went back and watched the first 2 seasons because they are on Canadian Netflix,
Mhm.
which is
Yes,
fucking
I did too.
amazing.
Mm.
It was my husband's first time watching the seasons because
Season 10.
there might be a coincidence that Stassi, winky face. So he's never seen season 1 Stassi. I was like, she's the devil. Like
Oh.
she's
And
insane.
don't you forget it.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was in the first episode.
Yes.
Oh my god. Like the entire like the first 2 seasons to me were like legendarily gold, and then like
Mhm.
nothing kind of followed afterwards. So I'm curious to see this season because we're coming straight off the hop of
Mhm.
Scandival. I think at the beginning, we're still gonna have some very high emotions of kind of you going from like, well, what the fuck do we do? Under my impression, as this is still being filmed, I'm pretty sure they still live together. Like,
Yep.
they still live in the same
Yeah.
house. Ladies, I would have gotten the fuck out of there by now. I'm just saying. I understand it's her house, it's his house. They're fighting about. I'm not in their. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in the relationship. I don't know like how they avoid each other. However,
Yeah.
like kind of like Lala said when she left Randall, she picked her shit up and left. Like I would just say, you know what? Like I'm gonna go stay at friends' houses. I'm going to maybe go get a hotel, or I'm going to rent an Airbnb or something. I would have done something. I don't think I could sleep in the same house
Yeah,
that Tom
Yeah.
is in.
You
deeply
know,
agree.
at the same time, I do understand her being like, yeah, leave. But I understand her what she said. I don't remember if it was a promo or at the end of the other season. I think it was the promo where she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna leave so he can like bring her in here in my own like because he's
Yeah.
gonna bring her to sleep over in the house that she's paid half the thing on, you know? It's like when they're like, no, I'm not giving you a divorce so you can marry your mistress or whatever, you know? Anyway, a lot of healing needs to happen. I don't see it happening.
I do, just to add to that as well, I do see wanting to leave for the sake of your like mental health legally. Again, I'm not a lawyer here, so I could be corrected, but from watching people get divorced, because statistically that happens, the person who leaves the house ends up kind of forfeiting a lot of rights from leaving the house. And so I feel like in the Lala Randall situation, the power dynamic was just so heavily on Randall that it made sense for Lala to leave. I think that it's more balanced with Ariana and Tom. So I feel like that's why they're both kind of fighting over that house, because financially they have a lot tied up in that house. Whereas like Randall could look at that money and laugh. That's not his situation.
I mean, to Stassi's point, those first 2 seasons, like we've seen where that we've seen the apartment, we've seen where these people came from. And as someone who has had parents who divorce, and like the watching the stubbornness between the two parties, and then the sort of like the aftermath and what do you do, and the fact that yeah, she's still caught I don't know, because I think similarly to where I think Lala's credit, she has this little bit in the promo where she's like, Ariana becomes God or something like that, which is to credit that Ariana was everywhere. Ariana at this point financially, we've seen where y'all have come from, and then with the scandal and everything that broke out after that, you do have the ability to go and let that house be a potential loss. You know what I mean? Like, which one is more important? The house and like you're kind of bitter, you're upset. He's already fucked this girl in the house. It's soiled. It's ruined.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Ariana's
ruined.
going full on Petty LaBelle right now. Like, this is my house.
Bad have been embarrassing me. All my Cancer women, because all girls named Ariana also Cancer women. Just embarrassing. And so it's like I get it as another Cancer girl. Your home is homestead. That is,
secret.
I get it. And then when they peered into like the differences between her room and his room, but she's living in quarters. You're living in and out of boxes. You're kind of, so it's like, girl, I don't know. And to link it to like Potomac, Robin, if you don't care, then maybe like, then why do we care? And so it's like, it's going to be interesting to watch her. What are you really going to do? Because fighting with Tom, being petty, it's not very interesting to me.
Back with zodiac signs as well, like Lala being a Virgo, I'm a fellow Virgo. It's like, no, GTFO, I'm getting out of there. I don't need anything from you. I am lighting this place up. Bye.
Yeah. And just so we say, his first apartment in LA, as a person that lives in LA, it was luxurious for LA, just so we know it, that he would put the what's it called, the microwave and the AC and the lights went off. That's just what's it called, a flavoring in the house. Okay? Nice. If I jump in my apartment, the windows move, you know. So, and it's expensive.
Very expensive.
I love season 1 when he's getting dressed and like he's doing his hair and like getting ready and he takes longer than Kristen does. I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, but like just puking going back and watching those first 2 seasons of like Kristen and Tom together. And then James motherfucking Kennedy in the last episode.
Yeah.
There's something about not consequences, but I think bringing up Kristen and the reason why, and now like, where are we with reality TV and where are we with cheating and affairs? Because again, to bring up like the other Ariana, the people's visceral reactions to Scandival and then also Ariana Grande, and then like how we feel as, and then putting in Potomac, because it's just on my mind with Robin, and we're watching, you're in a house being cheated on. There's no progression. And so we as the audience are like suffering with you. And I think it's a lot more fun to watch. Like Kristen, she got out. Yeah, she was sleeping with, James, and it was a mess, but she got out. She was still very clingy and very destructive in terms of like how she was going to continue to socialize with these people. But it was interesting to watch because she did get out. Everybody that actually got out, I think, is a lot more interesting to watch than to watch us suffer with you in a relationship or even in a situation where like, we feel that you're stuck, and I don't know if we want to watch that.
You bring up a really good point, Mel. It seems though like everybody who eventually left, it was like they had a turmoil year before they left because they were kind of feeling like they were in the outs of the group. To bring it back to this season, Ariana is going to go through this. Ariana is going to be scapegoated and black sheeped in this situation because she's leaving. She's going on to do better things as Roxy Hart, and everybody's mad, big mad.
For also what Mel said, the first seasons, it's fun to watch people in their 20s be messy, right? Who hasn't been messy in their 20s? I was having a lot of fun. Also, I have hell anxiety, okay? But messiness there, fun, I live for it. I live through them because my life, I want to be safe. But watching season 10, when Scandival happened, and watching the episodes, it was so good, but it was almost not enjoyable anymore. Like, I got so depressed at one point because it was her best friend, because my God, guys, I say, and I don't want to, like, we've all done stupid things, and then there's people are like, what were you thinking, guys? They weren't thinking, like, there was no thought. But guys, do you remember, I mean, of course you do, the conversation where she was like, but do you like him? But like, do you want to sleep with him? And the other girl thought she's talking to her friend, and they're walking through this, and that it was
sick.
It was sad. So devastating.
I mean,
like she was trying to get him to. I showed my husband. I'm like, look, do you see what she's doing? She's trying to make her break up, and she thinks she's talking to her friend. Like,
trifling bitch.
In front of the cameras. Like, dude, tomorrow. I don't know.
It's miserable. Like she was talking about how, she's sending lightning bolt postcards to the house. Like we're still suffering through it. Like I don't want to suffer through this with you, Ariana. You're supposed to be good as gold, doing your thing. You're supposed to be with your new man. Like I want to see that and watch you pick up something about her, pick up the pieces.
I do think that they'll do that though. It seems like they're showing that off in the season extended season preview. Something about her and that, but I don't know how long lived that will be. I feel like that'll probably just be kind of like the intro, and then they'll go right into the chaos with stuff that I honestly think they're making up, and we have evidence of it being made up. Like I really don't believe this Sheena Tom thing, and
such a plan of like, I put LOL Sheena on my notes. LOL Sheena. Because now we're watching, how do you create a storyline, thinking of them as actors, right? Thinking of them as people who kind of consented to like live that half actor, half storyline. Like you're looking for a storyline, so here's Sheena. Kids, get out of here. What? Sheena trying to find her different ways to insert herself, her having the cry scene that we deserved. Sheena really is trying. And so it's like, it's embarrassing at this point. That's not, and also just not the other Tom. Jeez, not the other Tom.
Okay, so there's 3 things certain in life: taxes, death, and Sheena will make it something always about her, no matter what the situation is. Like, even going back to the original seasons, it was always about her. I don't know how you can go from like death gripping a White Claw in a fucking trailer wanting to destroy Tom, from being like, oh, like we're friends. And I'm like, if that happened to my girlfriend, I would cut this man off. I understand you have to film stuff together, you have obligations, but you don't have to be nice. You don't have to be friendly.
No.
But if Ariana doesn't care, then why should Sheena care?
Oh, I think Ariana cares. As she says, she's probably most likely going to be the villain this season. Yeah. I don't think she's going to be the villain. I just think she's a woman on a vendetta, and I can fucking stand behind that, because if I was her, I would have destroyed Tom in any way possible. And besides the public opinion of Tom, I mean, Tom is still very much open. From
he did his show,
right? So like, what, besides people not liking him, what consequences has this man suffered? Nothing. In my personal opinion, he's suffered nothing besides Bravo women hating him. But if you're not a Bravo person, he could just skate on by. And and whoever he's with next, he's just gonna do the same thing. He's a perpetual cheater.
Yeah. And Schwartz is encouraging him to like, oh, you need to get out in the dating world. Like, again, it's like, what?
Like, Schwartz is so, it's becoming depressing. It's like,
he's a yes man. He's such a yes man.
It would have been so cool to watch Schwartz stand on business. And I would have watched a season 11 of Schwartz really standing on business against Tom Sandoval, and him being like, you're disgusting, you're this, and him trying to, that would have been, if you want to think about what's your new storyline, get yourself a new character. That's something that's going to be like actually entertaining. That's actually entertaining versus this terrible blonde thing you did with your hair, and then something with Sheena Shea. Get that off my screen. Get it off. Like,
I'm sorry. When did they make out, and when in the VPR universe is that okay, and why is it coming out now?
Because we needed some drama. Like, we need something. Like, how are we gonna top Scandal? You know?
Yeah. And they always are like, oh, Katie and Sheena hate each other. Let's antagonize Katie. Like, it's literally what's happening.
Low hanging fruit. So low hanging fruit.
You know, I met a sound engineer for one of these reality shows here, and I was like, you know, the question we all have, I'm like, okay, so how scripted is it? And he said that in the show that he was in, you know, we can't say stuff, but in the show he was in, the producers would make him, like he said, they weren't outside saying this, but they would make him like go and give the players drinks every like this match. They would like go and put people together that they knew and be like, no, we have to film this scene, and then let the cows evolve. And they would like go and be like, oh, I heard she said you're a bitch. Like, what you gonna do about it? But like things like that. And I was like, yeah. But I've also seen in LA, it's not an LA thing, but I've seen even in like my extended circle, and that always fucked with my mind. Like a person would be like, oh, this person did this to me, I can't stand them, and then would go out for like a drink for an event, for a premiere or whatever, and they're nice, and like I get that you have to be nice because but it's such a weird experience because I'm like, I don't feel good with them now that you've told me that. And you can be like, oh yeah, huh, baby. And I'm like, is it true? Is it not? Like, what's happening? It's really
I need much more ride or die people in my life than that. Like, if somebody wrongs one of my friends, like, you're unalived to me. Like, in my opinion, you don't exist. Like,
yeah, me too. But then you see the person go and be like, yeah, hi, how are you? And I'm like, what's that? I'm like, no.
Well, like, how can Lala go from I'm going to burn him to the fucking ground to hugging him at the beach? I don't understand this group. I don't get it.
Lala, to me, like, it's like you're a hater, but you're a real bitter. I think Lala is extremely bitter, rightfully so. And I think her just saying like Ariana became God, like, hold on, because all three of y'all were corny on that good as gold, Uber Eats gold. And then you were trying to make the entire last reunion kind of about you and Tom. Like, you were really laying it in. We get it. You were going through your own thing. But again, also Lala, you were trying to look at yourself as like, okay, how am I going to be interesting? What do I have to, and so it's like, it's the anti-Sheena. It's like Sheena and her are both trying to figure out where do they fit in the midst of who the show really is looking at, which is Katie and Ariana. And so then also Lala, yeah, I'm sure you've been cheated on. You ain't getting nothing from that. You were doing all what you were doing to get on the whatever boat trips that you were going on. And then you got a really crappy 50 Cent said that your baby's daddy is the next Harvey Weinstein. So I get why you're bitter. I get why you're mad. And then also you're seeing that there's no accountability being had anywhere.
Yeah. But also think too, like, Lala probably thought before Scandival that season was like hers and Katie's season. Like, I think she thought that it was supposed to be about her, what she was going through with Randall. And then all of a sudden she got taken, completely taken over by Scandival. And like, I think she was mad about it. I think she thought that was going to leverage her up into being like main cast, and she got drowned out in the drama, and now she's back to square one. And then same, and her and Sheena are trying to, like, similar to you said, break through these ceilings that they can't seem to get through because Ariana and Katie just dominate the show.
Exactly. And then James, no matter what James does, it's gold. So
yeah, that's true. He's so good. Well, like, I'm seeing him in February. I'm so excited.
Ooh. Yeah. And the best line ever, what do you want something for you to die? That's inevitable. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But I think it puts on a good point. So like this season for Lala, her whole point is trying to find a sperm donor because she's done with men. She doesn't want to be responsible for men anymore. She just wants to find she wants to give Ocean a brother or a sister.
Yes.
It's like, it's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. It's not, I'm not coming to the table for that.
No. What actually would be more interesting is if she teamed up with the Rachel, because she also tried to like jump on the Raquel, like, I've been where you've been. I know what it's like to be that aggressive of a whore.
You're gonna have a mental breakdown soon. Like, she called it.
So it's interesting that Lala is, I wouldn't necessarily try to like revamp myself with Tom, because that gives you nothing, but to try to say, listen, Rachel, I'm your only way in, and let me pull you under my wing and actually do it right. And so you're not gonna fuck me over like you did Sheena. You're not like you know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been a little bit more interesting. And it would have allowed Lala to then put herself in that more grounded place if she were to play the game and have aligned herself with Rachel instead. I think that would have been a little bit more interesting.
And her going the family route also isn't a good thing for her, because she can't film with her children because Randall is being so particular about anything that she can do, because he's being such a control freak to the situation now that he doesn't have her. So,
well, here's the thing. He's right though, but like, also, sir, you're a monster. So like, be quiet. No, I like, you're right. Like, we shouldn't, because then Sheena talking about Tom blocked what is it, her daughter Moon or whatever, and it was like, well, technically though, that baby shouldn't have an Instagram,
right?
So problematic. Agreed.
Like,
so Randy, thank you for I don't want to see nary one of Lala's children. So yeah, don't go the family route, because girl, we can't even see these kids anyway.
Yeah.
The mistress route. Go the reformed mistress route.
How do you think Raquel is gonna be in this season?
She's not. She's not in the season
at all. Because they said that there was an on-screen kiss. I saw that somewhere, that they was confirmed that there was an on-screen kiss.
I think what you might be thinking of, and I might be wrong.
Yes.
Recently, she on her podcast was talking about her on-screen kiss with Tom Schwartz that happened the previous season,
and they didn't air it.
No, it did get aired, but it was staged.
It was staged,
and Tom Schwartz knew about Tom Sandoval from the beginning, and he was literally just doing this to help deflect what was going on.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought, I think I read an article like 2 days ago, and I was like, ooh, is he gonna like pop in and like kiss him in the new season? That would have been so interesting. But yeah, okay, I guess wrong information.
Listen,
because I thought it was Scandal top, not Schwartz.
I want Rachel to like never be seen ever again. However, I think she should have come back for season 11. I think she should have stood her ground with the ladies.
Yes.
I don't think she would. She's a coward. She's a coward. That's why she has a podcast. Yeah. And I was just like,
and it's a bullshit podcast, because how, like, the format of it, like, she's literally so scripted on it and so vetted on it that it doesn't even feel like it's a genuine podcast, because it's so filtered. You can tell when there's podcasts that are like filtered and to the point versus organic. And she needs to take some Stassi.
Well, everything about her is like, we know there's not much going on up here, and Lala knows that too. And it's just like, if you're gonna again be this half actor, half reality TV star person, you need to figure that out, and you haven't figured that out. The fact that then Rachel is missing, but again, Tom and the other Tom, there's no consequences. They both went on to go do other shows. They're still out there making money. They still got their businesses. So like, girl, come get this coin, because you too, like, you're also a messy piece of crap. Well, go on ahead and be on this show and get your coin too, because clearly no consequences for nobody. And
Raquel,
just speaking from
Raquel has the biggest net worth of anybody there based on her own family's things. So she doesn't need that money. She doesn't care. That's like Stassi Schroeder. Why would she care?
She didn't care. Well, speaking of Stassi, I wish Stassi would come back. However, we do have some old alumni coming back, Mr. Jax Taylor and Brittany. What are your ladies' thoughts about seeing Jax Taylor again on VPR? Wow, the amount of silence there, and anybody listening didn't get to see these ladies' faces. It was not like, oh, why?
You know what it made me think of? That clip where he's talking to Lisa, and so then dragging in Miss Vanderpump herself. Again, if you don't care, then why should we care? And watching Tom try to have his scenes with her, and like Jack's feeling that she is holding him accountable with the way that she is like completely kind of removed Jax. And so it's like, girl, then why would he be back here? Why would he be back here? This is it's low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit to get another man who is a chronic cheater, who his wife knows that this man is a chronic cheater. So again, like I'm gonna drag Robin Potomac because it's very frustrating. If you don't care, then why should we care?
Yeah.
If you're not going to be so disgusted, Lisa Vanderpump, the way that you were still sitting on the fence with the two Toms during the reunion, and then still Tom is able to come to your house and cry and do all, girl, then you don't care. You don't care. So I don't care about Jax. Like y'all don't care about people that are cheating, and y'all don't care. So why should I care?
I think he needed a paycheck. Out of all of he is the least successful.
Yeah.
His wife pays the bills with Jenny Craig. Like we know that. But like like I forgot that Jax had a sweater line, a fitness app, the beer cheese. Like he has had so many failed ventures.
Yeah.
That like basically everybody on the show has a separate business, a successful one at that. Jax has never done it because he can't fucking hold down anything.
Hey, those number one boy in the group shirts. Do you really?
So yeah, there's something to even watch, because like one could even say that like I'm interested in something about her in terms of the business venture of it. I'm so excited to see all the things that, like, at least I can care about. Could care about, the restaurant before when they were still trying to get that hoe up and running. At least like we're still watching some people with some sort of acumen that's like interesting to watch. But yeah, it's giving Scott Disick and socks. It's like it's very like.
But like speaking about restaurants, the season finale or the reunion, they're like, we're gonna have something about her open early spring. We're now in January 2024. It's not open to my knowledge. I don't think it is.
I don't know either.
I don't think so, because they had to. They built this beautiful outside part that all had to get teared down because it didn't get proper permits, which I laughed at as someone who has to deal with permits all the time. I'm like, yeah, no shit. You have to get permits to build a standing balcony and a roof. Like you can't just do that. You don't own the physical building. But like their Instagram page has like 3 posts on it, and they were condemning. I'm not condemning the Toms here because they took a long time because they were funding their own cash. However, it's the same thing now happening to them, and I noticed that very quickly that their stuff's not open, and anytime somebody talks about something about her, they kind of dodge the question. So I'm really curious to see, is this venture turning into more of a cash cow? And I think what's going to happen, and Mel, you've said it earlier, like it's Katie's baby. Ariana is just kind of like, well, I'm gonna go to Chicago. Like I'm gonna go to be Roxy Hart. I was on Dancing with the Stars. I'm getting ads, and I'm in a movie. Like she's too busy to be putting butter on bread. She doesn't need that. But Katie needs that because she's now invested all of her money into this. And to be honest, if it was just Katie's sandwich shop, no one would give a flying fuck. But because it's Katie and Ariana's God, we give a shit because we wanted to, like, they would have had to forfeit because it was us fans supporting them with merch in any way possible.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have happened without Ariana. So I kind of feel like something about her might be like 10 years from now, we'll be like, remember when they tried to open a sandwich shop and it didn't work? But from what I gather, Schwartz and Sandy's is pretty full, and like they're doing well, I think. Right?
I haven't been so. But when but when rich famous people try to open a business, or when anyone that is able to do, like, to hire people to do it for them, and like they can have their artistic vibe, but I don't understand, because I know it's hella difficult to start your own business. Like, it's nearly impossible. The paperwork, I've had my fair share of paperwork in my life. I'm done. But I get it. But if I had the resources, I would have hired a lawyer, an organizer, a planner, and I would have done nothing except be like, I think I want it to be pink and have Greek sandwiches. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why, like, I don't know, like, do they not have enough money? Is it that expensive? Or what is going on there? You know what I mean?
I don't think
I don't
it's
know.
as much money as it. I think they try to market a lifestyle that makes it look like they have more money than they do.
That part.
Yeah, everyone in at least LA, a lot in the world, I understand. But like, I don't know, like they're probably, I don't know, like a house here that's not horrible, right? That's a fixer-upper is 700,000 at this point. Okay. So, but I don't know.
I
mean,
think,
I don't know.
but also these are, I mean, like you said, it's hard. I think they are realizing how much it actually takes. And
Mm,
so then including they were talking about in their little teaser, they just brought in that chef lady that they had. She's
yeah.
now more on like an official level. We know that the boys definitely were not. You're looking at Lisa Vanderpump and she's opening up a new spot so you're out here thinking like, oh yeah, I can just maybe get some tips from Beat PR, and then I'm just gonna open my little sandwich shop. And it's like, nah, girl, like you are responsible for literally every single thing. And truly, to Stassi's credit, yeah, Ariana, she's getting bags just from showing up and talking about getting cheated on. And Katie is the one who I also just feel like, again, because of the lack of the consequences for the men, the reason why something about her, because you wanted to support these two girls who, were victimized by these two Toms. And it's like, fuck you to the boys. This is like girl Barbie. Bop, bop, bop. She was supposed to be on that, Barbie train. And it's very apparent that like, yeah, you're not understanding really what it takes to run a business. Kim said that,
Hey, you saw also what happened with the Oscars and Barbie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that
yeah.
is the most Barbie thing, though.
It's very
Yeah.
it's so Barbie. It's on
It's
Barbie.
Nice. It's on brand.
Yeah, it's 100% on brand. You have the Barbie movie nominated, but you don't have Barbie nominated for more.
You
But
have Ken.
But you have Ken. You
Yeah.
have Ken. The only
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
only thing. Sorry. The only thing I will say is Ryan Gosling has to perform "I'm Just Ken" at the Oscars.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm waiting
Precious.
for. That's Everything
Yeah.
else, but I can't wait to see him and his blonde hair beaching off.
Correct blonde. Because then is that what Tom Schwartz was like? What was that? What is that?
He was going for the Ken vibe. He was going for the bleach blonde vibe. He does not. He needed more makeup. As a pasty white girl, I can't go full Daenerys. I will look like I died. And I did that last year. And I look like I fucking died. Like I was just like, wait, completely down. So
As a character, it's just perplexing.
but like, okay, so like their top storyline is Tom Sandoval and Katie, or no, sorry, Tom Schwartz and Katie are sleeping with the same girl.
The same person, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that either.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know, but like
I think also that everybody on the show is way freakier than they let everybody know on camera, and they're all having sex with each other.
Oh, 100%. There has been.
We know that. We know. Lola's out here like, I was eating Ariana's box. Okay, cool. On a Sunday night, just
in Tom's car, just like Kristen did the same thing with Brittany. Like
everybody's making out. Everybody's making out.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, I don't care.
I don't care what book you're reading as long as you're on the same page with the people you're reading it with.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love is love across the board. But I just kind of felt like, is that the storyline that we're going to go with Katie and Tom, that they're fighting over the same girl? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I'd rather watch you guys both fight, especially again, the two people that you're partnered with get to go on selfishly in their own weirdo rock star fame or their god fame, and both of you are left with the bill, with the restaurant or the establishment business that then y'all divorced over the first one. And now here you are. Where's Ariana? Where's something about her? Here you are, Sandy and Schwartz. And I would have rather had watched y'all play business wars.
Yes.
I would have rather watched that.
Okay. We're all adults now. We like Succession. Okay. Like we want that shit. We're not 20 years old anymore. I can't relate to a 20-year-old being like, oh my God, so Sally slept with Steve last night and I don't care. I'm an established bitch now. I want to see you guys breaking down, being like, well, I was here for 30 hours last week. You were here for 5 minutes. You haven't improved the menu, because that is more in our lives. It's more grounded to us as
Bar rescue. See the reno. I want to see like what's going on behind.
I want to see the food. You're doing a sandwich tasting. Show me your sandwiches. Who are you tasting it to? Are you doing private events? Why aren't you doing private events? Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not open to the public, why are you not doing catered events? Who works for you? How did you hire them? Do you have drama in your staff? How do you know these people?
Y'all should have been baby VPRs because we watched y'all in a restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should get back to those basics. They should get back to like the Schwartz and Sandy's, like who works there and who is the drama within there, and like make the Toms more, not Lisa Vanderpumpy, but more, I guess.
Like, they're villains essentially.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't think like anything that takes away from her being here and everyone coming from her, I don't think we would have been able to see that on the show, you know, because it's always been her and the people that work for her, and she can go and be the narrator, and she has her 40-year marriage and really nice whatever. And so it all comes from her, kind of, you know? And if we saw their workers, then she wouldn't be like the grandma, you know what I mean? It would take away from her control, I think.
But then just do like other spin-offs. Do a short series. Like they're literally doing Vanderpump Villa, which will have an episode drift into it. As someone who has been to the Vegas restaurant, it is absolutely stunning. However, I don't know if I can get attached to them. Like, obviously Oliver still works there. I met him. He was very sweet. They're kind of latching on to that. I mean, we're going to start getting into the phase though of like a 90-Day Fiance situation where there's so many spinoffs that like nobody cares, because this is a spinoff of a spinoff of a spinoff.
Yeah.
Right? We're at Inception at this point. But like, okay, so like 10 more years from now, are they gonna still be talking about who's fucking who at SUR?
Well, which is why, again, like I actually think because Lisa was trying to help them. And so I was trying to figure out, well, why can't y'all get it open? Y'all were saying that it was Homeboy's fault that was like stopping off. That conversation was interesting to me. And then Lisa considering, do I bail y'all out? Do I not bail y'all out? This is the standards that I have. I don't know. I think I would have rather had watched her grandma these restaurants, and then her also being like, but also look at mine, because this is how you do it. This is how you do it, and this is how it's done. But then Schwartz and Sandy's, and then something about her specifically, we're watching them sort of like try to become the next Lisa Vanderpump. And do they success and do they fail? You know? And her coming to their businesses and then freaking out, because she does have that effect on them. That's why Stassi got so triggered by Lisa Vanderpump. Everybody wants that approval. Jax wants that approval. Everybody wants that approval. And Lisa, who is she even in the midst of this bullshit scandal? Who is Lisa Vanderpump on Vanderpump Rules?
Honestly,
where is Lisa?
LVP does not need to be on Vanderpump Rules anymore. She could just be an executive producer and just do her thing. Like, give me the fucking Pride Parade. Like, and give me stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna do that stuff, do that. But even like, she was basically like, she was shocked in the last year's reunion that like she didn't know that Tom and Raquel were fucking at that point when he dressed up as her. And I'm like, you produced the show. How do you not watch your own content before it getting put out there?
I mean, she's collecting a check. She's not actually watching anything.
But like,
yeah,
but
and even if she is, like, you remember that scene where they're all at the kitchen and her husband comes in? First of all, I love her. Okay? I love her. I don't care. But he comes in and he's like, oh, by the way, did you hear? And he's like trying to stop him. Like, if you want to stop your husband from like spilling some tea, you can stop him, you know, you give him the look like you're close. But she's like, no, yes. Like, you're not, like, you want him to say it, you know, that's why the cameras are there. Does that
mean that she is more, because even giving Tom airtime to sit on in her face and have his grievances, so like LVP is very much involved. She's very much involved.
Yeah. But
she's feigning she's not involved.
I mean, okay, we're all in LA, minus Sims Kingdom who's in LA. Would we go to Sir? Would we go to Sir? Us ladies, would we go to Sir? Would we go to Tom Tom?
I haven't gone yet, but with you I would go.
Okay. If Villa Blanca was still open, would you go to Villa Blanca?
Yeah.
Would you go to Pump if it was still open?
I'd make a whole tour and go to everything.
Go to Pump. Yeah, for sure.
Right? So she doesn't need to be there because we're super fans. We're going to go to her restaurants because we have watched the show for 10 years. At the end of the day, the restaurant is the hidden star and we just want to go. So,
you know, I mean, we'll never know because we're just guessing, right? But I think she has done an excellent job at typecasting herself as a mother figure, a matriarch, and a person of power, right? And she is the only one in there, maybe because of age, maybe because she did other things before, that is like playing it perfectly. The fact that she sat down with Tom, you know, and she's like, I mean, I will always love you though. Like, horrible. But, and then in the reunion, but like, no, but I'm talking about, no, I wasn't trying to instigate. Like, it's perfect. I admire it. I admire it. I hope I could, but I admire it. Yeah, so I don't think she's there only to market like her businesses. She's also marketing herself, maybe, you know, like, we don't know. Maybe she wants to be a star. Maybe, I don't know, you know.
I think she still likes that level of stardom. And also, I do think she paints herself as this like maternal figure that I really don't think she actually is. Anytime you see Ariana talk about Lisa, she sounds like she's terrified of her. She's like, I don't want to say anything that's going to mess up Lisa not loving me.
Like, in the reunion, remember when they asked like, oh, if she continues doing business, and Ariana's like, we won't be as close. And she's like, what do you mean? And Ariana's like, no, I mean, of course, I didn't actually.
She's like the godfather. However, Kristen Doty stepped out on a podcast and was asked the same question. Is this like, since Scandal happened, is this like Lisa's prime time? And Kristen Doty basically kind of said like, well, of course she's going to be there to cash in to kind of see how the storyline's going to go and market it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, how did the season 10 trailers start off? 11 trailers start off as the season 10 promo shot and everyone's laughing and it's amazing. And then you see like a year later and people are fighting. Like, she's fucking loving this. She wants more Scandal. She wants more people tuning because that franchise was going to die. I don't know how many times people were like, hey, like, vote for us. Like, we want to stay on the air. Like, this is our shit. And if that didn't happen, there wasn't going to be a season 10. There wasn't going to, or there would have been a season 10, but there wouldn't have been a season 11. They would have wrapped it up. But because this caught
nominated for awards,
right? And like, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So LVP is now like, okay, let's steer this in the right direction. And let's make Ariana a little bit more, let's show her maybe her negative sides. Because again, she's going through this with everybody looking at her. That amount of pressure, that's going to make any sane person crumble. And we're going to see her crumble this season and snap because she's this cool, collective girl. This season, we're going to see her fight dirty a little bit more and people are going to turn against her. And I think the whole thing is that they're going to make us try to feel bad for Tom.
I will puke. No.
Seriously, that's how they're going to do it. They're going to spin it like, yeah, he did cheat on her, but he fucking came to every event. He stood in the face of public opinion. He still did his shows. He still went to BravoCon. He still did these things knowing that he's a bag of shit. So I think but that's how we can sway people, right? Like this is now his redemption arc. 2 seasons from now, he'll be fucking back into the group. Jax did the same thing throughout multiple seasons. Tom has also done it. Everybody has a villain season. It was Tom last year. This year it's going to be Ariana, and after Ariana it will be Katie, because
it's always the girls in the affair that end up getting the ones that aren't that are on the outskirts of it. With the Ariana Raquel situation, it was different because they were best friends. And I think that was why it became a big blow up thing, because this happens every season where somebody cheats on somebody. But the reason why this was so big is because it was friends.
And it was caught out of left field.
Yeah.
Like nobody saw. I never saw them as end game. I assumed that they would leave. Like going back and watching, like you can tell in season 2 how much Tom was in love with Ariana. He held on to every word she said. And the last couple seasons, he was like a lost dog trying to follow around any hot girl. But he did that for Rachel. So like you can see the hard parallels. So sorry, no, go ahead.
No, when Ariana said, because she was saying, we have issues like intimacy or whatever, but like, we're working through it. That to me, it hit personally because it's such a human thing. Like, I think, Theoni, that I found my person, right? I'm married, okay? Like, I plan on spending my life with him. When we'll have issues and when we have issues, I'm thinking like, yeah, it's going to be fixed because we're both people that want to fix our issues, even if they're like how they had like intimacy issues, right? Like it's okay if this year is horrible because we have 50 years coming, that mindset. So it really hit me that she was like, yeah, it's issues, but they'll be fixed. But he was like out at that point, and when he said, oh, how I did not kill him on the TV, when she said, yeah, he slept with me, and he's like, yes, he was wearing a t-shirt, it was so hot. I'm like, just don't talk.
You didn't have to do that. I also appreciate it. It was pointed out. I think like either Mel B or Disney that like all the women after when they showed up to watch What Happens Live only wore t-shirts. I'm just and I'm like, okay, we've all had sex with a t-shirt on. Okay, like fuck off. Like we're adults.
Yeah.
Okay?
Also, as a bi pansexual person, shirts are hot. Like,
I mean, I think we're all just happy that we're fucking. You know what I mean? I thought we were all just happy that everybody was getting some. I didn't know we were so prescriptive about.
I'm fine too. And I also, when he said that, I also thought, a t-shirt on a girl, really hot. I don't know what.
I know. I'm just like, you Winnie the Pooh, baby. I got you.
Yeah. But like, it's also so normal for couples to go through intimacy issues as the many years.
10
years.
Longer
you are.
The longer you are. Other factors might be at play.
See, I think it's so, Ariana, because Ariana's such the cool girl and she's kind of, I mean, again, we've already noted, like, this isn't your first time being cheated on in this relationship. So let's not even act like Tom cheating on you is new, but you've played it so cool. You've been so blasé.
Yeah.
That then then what is the weight of the relationship when this man can say something like that to you so comfortably, so callously, like, 10 years of what? 10 years of what was that actually? Yeah. And I don't feel that I think Tom had a more disturbed, genuine, fucked up relationship with Kristen that was like soap worthy, drama worthy, painful, the toxicity that those two had, but it was passionate and wild. The way that, again, we transitioned into Ariana, it became, Ariana was like this, I'm a cool girl. I'm so even keel. Like, yeah, she gets it. And we all party, we do drugs, we sleep around. And then you did that for 10 years. And then Raquel comes in all quiet as a mouse. And then she was trying to get in there. She was like, I wanted to be with the both of them. That could have been an interesting storyline if y'all tried to do a little throuple thing. But Ariana, I just want to know, like, what does it even really mean to be with Tom Sandoval when he could say stuff like that? What does it even mean to be with him for 10 years? What does that even mean?
Yeah, for me, I don't hate him. Like, I don't hate him in general. Like, he didn't kill anyone, but it's not, for me, it wasn't even the cheating. I don't know, like, maybe it was the TV also, and he didn't want, like, it was all the other stuff that came with it. Like, yeah, he cheated on her with her best friend. Horrific, horrible. People like fuck up, but like the whole handling of it was like, that's what I was like, oh my God, you need, like, go to a psychologist, and in 2 years, maybe you're great. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I don't think that would help him. I think he's a full-fledged narc. But arguably anybody who's on TV has a level of narcissism to them. So I'd even argue, no offense to anybody on here, but if you have an Instagram platform, you probably
yeah.
So I'm not shading anybody. I also have a little bit of it, but
that's just the performance. We're performers, and there's something that we're storytellers, and Tom is an actor. That's what you tried to do. So then now you're gonna take what you couldn't do, and you're going to apply it to your life, and you're just going to constantly blow up your life. Because then now you're into it to where you're making it into your song. You're, doing all that just corny whack shit like a psychotic actor, bro. Like, you're out here, really out here. I'm throwing a chair. Like green light, whatever the hell.
He's already pushed the, the button, so to say. Like, his life is already blown up. Like, at this point, do whatever to make the check. You're already ruining your reputation.
But then also, like, what is even a reputation? Because, like, most men, they are never held accountable for this shit. And I think he's probably obviously a lot more likable than Jax, which is why Jax is not good at it. Whereas Tom is actually like, I'm about to be the better Jax.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is I'm going to equivalent this to anybody in the States that's listening, and you can now kind of stance where I feel on the political side. Mr. T, we're going to call him, who might, unfortunately, looks like he might try to do something this year. He's like Jax, a fucking idiot. Like a fucking idiot. Just says whatever comes to his mind. But good old former VP, MP, who was fucking actually evil, that's Tom. Tom's evil the entire time, but snuck through the grass because we just hated Tom so much. But Tom is fucking so gross, just as bad as Jax is. And they were both snakes in the grass, just one snake was bigger. And then once the big snake was gone, there was no snakes left. Yeah.
Agreed. And yeah, we had talked about that, how Jax was so awful that, like, we were always so focused on that, and it gave the other two Toms so much leeway to, like, nothing's changed. Besides Jax being removed, and then us being able to see how awful
they're all close to like 30s. Oh, sorry, Disney, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, similarly to shows like The Bachelor and other reality TV shows, you have certain people that have to fit in a certain character arc in order to make the show go through. And so Jax leaves as the villain. Who is the next villain? There has to be a villain, and there has to be somebody to root for. And there has to be the sidekick. Like, it literally goes on, and they have to fit into those roles in order for the show to be successful. And they don't mess with that recipe, even if it's boring and like outdone over and over again. They stick with it.
I want a
Well,
hero though. I think that people
Yeah.
want a hero. And I think that's what, again, something about her was supposed to kind of like represent, these two phoenixes that were, and now they're
Yeah.
coming out of the ashes and they're reborn and they're taking their shit back. But nobody here is a hero. And I think that's what's making this depressing to watch. It's like, I would rather play the game than you need to be the good, reform yourself into the good guy. Lala and Jax are like, I think two prime, and James Kennedy is doing it naturally with Allie, which is like good. Don't do it so out loud, do it nice and natural. But for a comedically large villain to then play his cards right in terms of storyline, Jackson Lala, I would have loved a reformation of like, I'm actually really changed. I really went to, and then especially against the Schwartzes, who definitely didn't do any type of reformation whatsoever. I wish they were playing it a little bit more strategically in terms of their characters and who they are and how they relate.
Unfortunately, I just don't think any of them are redeemable like that, though. Like, they're all kind of horrible people by definition to even be on that show.
Oh, 100%. But I think that's just kind of how they've been able to stay on, is because they're all anti-heroes.
Yeah.
And we all want them.
Do we feel that way about like Jersey Shore? Because I think that's like when we're talking about longevity of people being on our TV screens. And we talked about like in our 20s, we had room for that. But I think what makes Jersey Shore so nice is that they're older, they're wiser. Ron coming to do his redemption tour. Ron is like a Jax to me. And even if we believe it or not, the fact that you're trying to play in my face, like you really about to try to put these, like truly, like make an honest attempt, not a Tom Sandoval crocodile tear attempt, but make an honest attempt of some sort of redemption to get yourself back into a family that we've watched y'all party, fuck up, cheat. I equate them to that, where it's like I have a soft spot for Jersey Shore because of the progression of them maturing from being a party crazy group of kids on our television screens who are now trying to like, well, we're parents now, we're family, but we still have our Sunday dinner. And Ron is gonna try and make his way. I think that's what I wish Vanderpump would try to do.
It will never do that though. It will never do. And I just like Jax was on a show last year, House of Villains, with fucking Johnny Fairplay and Lisa
New York
and Shake. Okay, but like I personally, yes, he's a villain, but I don't deem him like the number one villain from Bravo though. I think he was just the first person that I think he was the 10th person that they called, and he's like, yes, paycheck. Like he'd already been off Vanderpump for so long at that point. And even like his last couple seasons, he wasn't really a villain. He was getting married. He bought a house. He was cutting the grass with a fucking lawnmower. He wasn't bringing 10 girls to Stassi's birthday boat in Cabo. Okay. Like his villain time was done. He was an older school villain. I would never classify him at the time. I feel like they wanted Sandoval. Sandoval is like, nah, I'm doing special forces. So you can call Jax. He has nothing fun. Jax is just sitting in his room with all his fake hockey businesses, sweater business, app business, workout business, beer cheese business. And he's like, I'll do anything. My wife's making my wife's the breadwinner. I'll make money now too. But like, okay, so like they all have podcasts now. So I mean, I can't condemn because I have a podcast, but that's
different. You didn't do a podcast just to do a podcast. You weren't like, I need to start a podcast, relationships or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, right. The Sims need you, Stassi.
Exactly.
They did. There was a tiny empty hole that needed people to get interviewed by a crazy white lady with blonde hair. So I filled the niche.
And we're really thankful for it.
Thank you.
We thank you. We do.
But I don't need a Rachel podcast, because whatever tea she spills is cool for like an episode or two. I don't need to listen to this bitch talk for like 2 hours. she has no coherent thought, let alone I don't think she can string a sentence along for 2 hours and not be a run-on sentence. I don't need Tom's podcast. I love Katie and Dana. I love them. I respect Dana the most as a fellow alumni. She's a stand-up comedian. She was doing something different. I like that. I wish we would have had more time with her. But I'm not gonna listen to their podcast either. Like, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. They're all still trying to cash in on Scandival, but like the rest of the world's kind of moved on, and we're kind of like, that sucks. I was like last year, but like, so like, what are you now doing? Like, I don't stop talking about something that happened a year or 2 years ago. We know everything.
Yeah.
And what soundbite are you hoping to get? Like Sheena making out with Schwartz. Okay. That's not interesting to me. There's no aspect of that relation. They have both been in relationships the whole time. Okay, so if that's come out, Katie just did Sheena's makeup on her Instagram channel, and they said they weren't. This was the first season. They've never fought. Okay, so how does this come out that she kissed her former husband, and you aren't gonna fight about it? Like, what?
I mean, they were kissing the same girl, remember? Maybe they were like, yeah, that's a more interesting storyline.
But like, okay, but Katie goes on a vendetta last season because Rachel might like Schwartz. Sheena kisses Schwartz and gets a hall pass? What?
Yeah.
Like, that's
No.
out of character for Katie.
I mean, also when Raquel kissed Schwartz, Katie still was like kind of okay with her, but like she was like, fuck you, Cena.
Yeah.
Do you think Katie's sabotaging the show? I could see.
She's like, no, I have no tea.
Just subtly, because she's like, if I don't get mad at Sheena, people will be like, why isn't she mad? And it's like, 'cause it's not real.
Right? So like, I don't know. I mean, the moral of the story, as I started off this podcast, I think this season is going to be boring. I think there are going to be some snippets of kind of like, what? But I think we're just kind of going to really just see like the aftermath and stuff.
Yes.
And
Downhill season.
yeah, I think this probably will be the last season of VPR. If not, maybe a 12th season if it does well. But people are tuning in expecting the same amount of drama. But the thing is, we didn't actually know they were fucking last season.
Yeah.
They started the cameras again to catch what happened at the end. So we're like, it's gonna be so boring. And then like, I don't know, in 3 months, it's gonna be like new scandal, Ariana and Lisa or whatever, Lila or whatever.
Like something, they'll have to do something to keep us entertained. I mean, as there's now more housewife franchises out there, and that, in my opinion, are way more entertaining. It's gonna be hard for viewers to tune into VPR. I could see the first episode having groundbreaking numbers, but I could see the third episode being one of the lowest because there will be nothing of interest. What we have Tom and Ariana fighting, or I'm gonna get a lawyer to sue you for a house that you still currently live in to this day, as this is being filmed in January 2024, and this season was filmed in like June of last year. And Tom throws a chair at the Good as Gold event at the end. Okay.
I think they'll find something.
They'll find bullshit things, but I'm old now. I don't want to see bullshit things. Like, I want to see them fighting over paint colors. I want to see them talking about the menu. I want to see them like, what do I make my servers wear? A fucking see-through dress that like you can see everything. Just like that's shit like that. Bring it back to basics. And I think that's what LVP is going to try to do with Vegas, because everybody at Vegas, to the exception of Oliver, are no names. No, but we don't know who they are. We don't know what they like to do. So, I mean, okay. But at the same time, do you guys want another spinoff of Vanderpump Rules? I'm honest.
No, I don't care.
I don't care. No.
I think it would depend on the angle, because when we're talking about like reboot, like New York got a reboot. They're talking about a reboot for Atlanta. People are really unhappy with Potomac right now. So I actually do see a conversation of like, can we just scrap the LA scene? Let's go to Vegas and let's start a new VPR. I actually would be interested. I would, yeah. And because of the Oliver, like you still get like that little touch into where it all originated, Beverly Hills. So you I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of interesting. And a lot more interesting than watching these bozos. And then maybe, you know, if they want to come and visit, and then you're like, oh,
I remember them. But
regut the whole thing and start over, yeah.
Yeah. At this point, again, focus on more adult shit. Because if we get to the Vegas show and it's 21-year-olds complaining that they don't want to work because they want to go out, you've lost my interest. Yeah. Because I've not grown up with you. I haven't like done the same things with you. And I think they're trying to set up for the next generation. Like people 10 years our ages don't give a shit. Yeah. Like they don't care. For sure. Like my youth that I know watch it with their moms. It's now their soaps. As I can't speak for everybody on this call, but I used to watch The Young and the Restless with my mom every day.
Oh, I'm still watching General Hospital, baby.
Passion, baby.
60 years in.
See? But like that was our treat with our moms. Who anyone under 40 doesn't watch the Y&R or Days, or I think Days is even off. B&B, General Hospital. They don't watch that. They watch Housewives. So you get your kids to watch it. Yeah. I don't think my nieces would be like, yeah, I want to watch VPR with you. And they'd be like, ew, like this is such long format content. Like I can't like how much like TikTok videos can I get in this hour instead? But like again, but they need to start setting up these franchises for us 30-year-olds because that's who's watching it. And we don't give a fuck about, oh my God. So like he like this like order was like so complicated. Like he wanted like goat cheese balls, but like didn't actually want goat cheese in them. So he like wanted mozzarella balls. So I didn't know how to like ring it in. So like I had to put like a note and I hope like that's okay. But like I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. Deeply. Yes. I think like what I'm always so stuck on it just because I know exactly what she was going through when she was so upset with VPR though, is that sort of Stassi mother-daughter. That's what I actually want. I want VPR to be, which is why Ariana was kind of like, you're talking to Tom, you're not a girl's girl. Are you a girl's girl? I would love to watch LVP like do something with something about her and be that sort of like person that they could actually go to learn from and to have a relationship with. I love Lisa Vanderpump and I wish that she would have allowed herself to like become a little bit closer to Ariana. She was like, you're watching Ariana cry. Girl, get over there. And she's like, what's going on? Because you're where she was so invested with Stassi. Stassi got under LVP in a way that like I wish LVP cared about the other girls, but I think she's like, I just want to step back. I just want to.
Well, also, you know what I mean? Her daughter Pandora was friends with Stassi, so like and from a younger age. So I think that there was just more to invest in for Lisa. So I think Lisa actually maybe mothered Stassi.
She did.
She did the other ones because she'd known her since she was a teenager.
Well, but LVP's now known these girls for quite some time. And I think Katie, at least definitely having a mother in LVP, I would watch that. Yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah. And she deserves it too. Like
she does.
Yeah. Like she's been around her from the beginning and her and Tom.
The divorce, I think the grown-up stuff that Katie really has gone through. I think I would really like to watch a beautiful conversation between Katie becoming the new LVP.
Yeah, exactly. Well, ladies, before we wrap up, what are your thoughts? You got a 30-second window. What do you think this season's gonna be, Disney?
Lackluster, downhill.
Mel B, baby girl, what do you think?
You know, I think we're just going to watch the aftermath and see how these characters either survive getting a storyline or don't survive getting a storyline.
Well said.
I agree. Sims Kingdom, how about you?
Well, this is Hollywood, so I don't really know. I will watch the first episode and then probably let it like build because I like binge watching them while doing the dishes or boring things. But I will watch the first episode, and I think if by the third episode the numbers start going down, they're either gonna be like, "That's what we have. Let's do it the next season, and what are we gonna do for the next?" Or they'll be like, "Okay, who's dying?" Like, then like catch us like that. That's what I think.
I could not agree more. I think this will be not a season for the books. And if it never came out that Tom, Ariana, and Rachel stuff last year, like, would there even be a storyline?
Nope.
There wouldn't have
because
been
y'all are determined to not care about Katie.
Yeah.
Katie's the one with the real shit going on. The fact that homegirl was talking crazy with her mother there.
Oh my God, I can't. I was like,
Yeah.
I had the same question as them, like, not who raised you, like her mom, sure. But it's like, what, are you a person? Like, this is, anyway, mind-boggling.
Right.
But just as a last thing, I would like to say that it always intrigues my mind when I see, because we're all people, right? We all need food, money to get food, survive, protect our families. And when you have when you're in a situation where you make money from your life, right? I'm sure that fucks with you to a point, right? Like, because I don't want my friend to suffer, but now my kids are going to go to college because of it. So I want to be there for you. But at the same time, yay, that happened to you. Like, that must be a really weird mindset. And I don't know, like, I always go back and forth when I'm watching it, like for being like, what the hell, people? And like, I get it. Like, it's I thought out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, ladies, thank you for coming today and indulging in this VPR conversation. I'm very excited to talk to you ladies later tonight, as this episode will be airing, I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bravo and Slice in Canada. If you are outside the rest of the world, because I know there's a lot of you that love this episode in England and Australia, I have no idea when it will be out in your time, but I would love for you to let us know your thoughts and your opinions and your concerns of what this season's going to be. And I generally hope that we are all proven wrong and the season will be interesting, but it's going to take a lot. So,
Yeah.
ladies, thank you again so much for coming here. Disney, where can we find you?
At the Disney Sims, at Towny Tales on Simstagram. And if you want to download my Disney prince or princesses, you can go to EA the Gallery at the Disney Sims.
I love that. sulsulmelb, where can we find you?
Just follow me on Instagram at sulsulmelb. Just keep up with me there.
Oh, good.
Sims Kingdom, where can we follow you?
Well, you can find me as Sims Kingdoms on Instagram, and I'm coming back on Twitch. So just need to fix my internet a bit. But yeah, I'm really excited because I missed playing and talking with everyone.
Well, I can't wait to have you back on Twitch. I will also be back on Twitch at some point. I don't know when. That was so traumatic. I don't know if anyone's ever listened. I did our first ever Twitch stream this past week with Alex, Gons, and Nard, and it was so broken on my end. I just kept hearing the same conversation repeating over and over and over and over, and then my conversation becoming like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try this? Stassi, stop. And it would just keep repeating. And I had to take my headphones off because I was going insane. And I was like messaging everybody in their lives. They're not checking their phones. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
And y'all want me to do interviews? Like, what? But anyways, I will be back for episode 2 of the Draft Wars at some point next month. So please stay tuned for that. Also, if you like this podcast and you really like Stassi Gets It, I am nominated at this year's Gamer Awards for Podcaster of the Year. I would love to make it to the final round of voting. So voting ends on Sunday. So please, if you like this podcast, please consider voting with me in this category with all of these other amazing women that put themselves out there to do gaming podcasts. I have a Patreon page. If you like what I do and you would love to support me in any possible way, I would always love and appreciate that. I have a story called Rose Chronicles. New chapters every week, baby. There's also a special project that's been soft leaked, kind of. So please stay tuned to that, as that will be coming out later in the year. I think that's all. Oh, I play Amy on the Reaper. So please go check that out. There might be a new episode soon. I'm so sorry, everyone, to listening. I am the holdup for why this episode has not come out yet. So love you guys. We'll be fixing that in about 20 minutes. So I'm a good voice actress. I just forget sometimes I have lines. Anyways, love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Happy VPR day. Get your pumptinis ready and your goat cheese balls, because baby, it's time for some VPR. And love you, ladies. Thank you so much for coming here today. I cannot wait to touch base in a couple weeks when we talk about, we'll pick this up again and talk about like how the season has progressed and see if we are right on track. But anyways, ladies, have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.